Good morning, friends. It's Joe. Welcome to my scripture reflection for Tuesday, September the 10th. Hope all is well with you on this Tuesday morning. Another beautiful day here in the Northeast. I can't help but think that at some point the weather will turn somewhat, and then you hear people say things like, well, yeah, we're not having a good fall. We actually are. It's all in your perception. Enjoy the good days. Take advantage of the good days and learn your most that you can in the good days because that's when you have the most energy. That's when you have the most ambition, as in the good feeling days. And it's always something to learn. And today we will learn a little bit. Well, actually, we're going to learn a lot about leadership when we listen to the gospel. So I will ask you now to quiet your minds and hearts as we prepare to hear today's gospel, which is from St. Luke, chapter 6, verses 12 through 19. Jesus departed to the mountain to pray, and he spent the night in prayer to God. When day came, he called his 12 disciples to himself, and from them he chose 12, whom he also named apostles: Simon, whom he named Peter, and his brother Andrew; James, John, Philip, Bartholomew; Matthew, Thomas, James the son of Alphaeus; Simon, who was called a Zealot; and Judas the son of James; and Judas Iscariot, who became a traitor. And he came down with them and stood on the stretch of level ground. A great crowd of his disciples and a large number of the people from all Judea and Jerusalem and the coastal region of Tyre and Sidon came to hear him and be healed of their diseases. And even those who were tormented by unclean spirits were cured. Everyone in the crowd sought to touch him, because power came forth from him, and he healed them all. Lately, I must tell you that this gospel has been swirling around my mind. I am strongly considering putting out a plan to have a leadership consulting arrangement for people who are willing to listen to what I have to explain to them, not only from my own experience, good experiences, but also from those that I didn't do as well in, that I can share with them and be honest and say, I could have done things better, and here's why. In addition to that, of course, animals will be a part of it, so it will have a unique twist to it. However, the reason that is in my mind is because this gospel is Jesus's ultimate leadership example. And there are core principles that need to be explained in more than a few moments. But when we look at what Jesus does today, we see leadership at its finest. And truth be told, if I had followed everything that he did in the Gospels, I would have made far less mistakes. But I am human and I made a few. But I did, as I say, have some successes, and they were based on some of what Jesus is talking about. Let's put it out there, plain and simple. First and foremost, there were clear goals put out to the apostles, right? There was no questioning what this was all about. They knew what this was all about. They had an opportunity to jump in or jump out. They jumped in because he knew that there was some passion and purpose attached to the goals, which were healing others. So there were goals, and they were clearly defined by Jesus. And that is certainly number one. And that is interesting as well, because he needed to tap into this passion and purpose in each one of them, even though they were quite different. So all of them had a different perspective, different personality, but Jesus had his way of tapping in to their strengths by making sure they understood the goals and the passion and the purpose. Secondly, they were held accountable. There was no way any of them were going to drift too far off of the course. When they did, Jesus reined them in. There are times when Jesus had to rein Peter in, and he became the first pope. There were times when he had to rein Thomas in because of his doubting, and he did. There were times where he had to rein the others in as well, and he did that because it was his responsibility, and he knew this, to keep everybody on course. Is it perfect? Far from it. But it is the leader's most responsible issue, is to keep people moving in the right direction. Keep the ship going in the right direction. Then there is probably the most important thing of all. Jesus taught by example. His shadow of the leader was powerful. There was no way any of them could look at Jesus and say, well, look, he's off doing something else. No, he was dedicated to the mission, so much so that he gave his life for it. And they knew this. And because of that, there aren't as many words necessary to preach to those that follow you. There is actions, and those actions were absolutely powerful enough to keep most people online. Finally, there is loyalty. And we know in the Gospels that Judas betrayed Jesus. So loyalty is not going to be 100%. So from a leadership perspective, if you are trying to get everybody to be loyal, well, it's not going to work. It didn't work for Jesus. It's not going to work for us. I learned this also in my years. It happens. It's going to happen. And you must keep your mission moving ahead, because if you try to please everyone and keep everyone in a perspective of loyalty, you're going to please no one. So stick to the mission. Realize that disloyalty may come, but move ahead. My friends, there is so much more to share, and I'm sure you could tell that this is an enthusiastic topic for me, and it is. And I feel our world needs it now more than ever. Not being critical or negative, but I see leaders in many different aspects of life just not following what they should follow. As I said, I am considering something more detailed and more comprehensive. But for today, hopefully you have picked up a few things on leadership from Jesus, because he is the ultimate leader and one that gives us the most powerful example. Well, my friends, that's my message for you today. I hope it was helpful. I always welcome your comments and your thoughts, and I always appreciate you being here with me. If you feel this video is helpful for you, please share it on your page for others to listen in as well. I wish you all a wonderful Tuesday, and I will see you back here Friday for our final video on St. Francis prayer. Have a great day, everyone, and see you soon.